Welcome to VAs After Dark, a companion to the Hey, Do I Need a VA podcast. This is where you'll hear directly from virtual assistants in my world in their own words. Finding the right VA isn't always about skills. Sometimes it's about a vibe. If you've been wondering what it's like to work with a virtual assistant, or you're looking for the right fit for your business, you're in the right place. Let's get into it with VAs After Dark. Hi everyone, welcome back to a new episode of VAs After Dark, a companion piece to Hey, Do I Need a VA, the podcast. With me today is a longtime colleague and a fellow Assist You graduate, Antonette Artiz, who is going to tell us all about her and why she became a VA. So why don't we start there? Tell us how you became a VA and why.
Okay, so I have worked in the administrative field since I was 5 years old. No, I'm just kidding, but it's been forever. I worked my way through college in the federal government as a secretary and so on and so forth. So I get this lovely job as an executive assistant to the VP of the Office of Information Resources. That's what we used to call the computer people back in the day. And I'll never forget, my supervisor came to me one day and he said, "You should check this out." And he hands me a newspaper article from the Washington Post about an organization called Assist You that's training people to become virtual assistants. So me and my sense of humor, I said, "Are you trying to tell me something?" And he was like, "No, I just think that this would be perfect for you." And I came home, I did a little research, and, lo and behold, wow, this was actually perfect for me. I am the kind of person who, I like sitting near a window when I work, or occasionally taking my computer outside, or, I like to travel, so I take my work with me. And it became like the perfect way for me to work. And my husband, this is also part of how I became a VA. It helped my husband to not have to hear every day he would come home, "Not another day. I just can't take it. I hate traffic. I hate being stuck in an office, being confined to 9 to 5. So he was like, "Where do we sign? Where do we sign up?" So I took the Assist You training and I passed the final exam. I have never looked back. So yeah.
And you were a trainer for a while too at Assist You.
Trainer, yes. So I have really done an awful lot in the industry. So trained, I actually used to teach a class at 2 local community colleges here in Maryland, where I taught how to start your own virtual assistant business to a few people. And it's kind of fun to occasionally run across someone who says, "Antonette, I took your class." And I'm like, "That's awesome. What are you doing now?" "I'm trying to find work." I gave you a roadmap for like the best job you could ever have. But so it really has been very fulfilling. I have been doing this now, so I started in 1997.
You just said 19.
I know I lost half the people listening.
No, but you've been doing it longer than I have officially, like on paper. I was doing it in 1999. I didn't know that's what I was doing, but I was. But yeah, that's amazing that you're still in business doing.
And I'm still in business. I have what I think is a full-time business. Yep, I am. And yeah. I love every day of it. I don't have any, I don't have any complaints. I think maybe just technology sometimes moves a little faster than I'm ready. Like, it's probably time now for me to update my laptop, and she's only 5 years old.
But isn't that the way? I mean, it's like driving a car off the lot. It loses the value, right? As soon as you plug the computer in, it's obsolete.
Right.
It's like...
I've been trying to get I have a new Wi-Fi. Like I like to take my own Wi-Fi with me wherever I go, right? My hotspot. And so I bought a new one and I'm trying to pair it with my computer and it said your computer isn't compatible with this Wi-Fi. Well, it's an Apple phone and it's a Dell computer. So I had to then realize I needed to go in to Bluetooth it. But I'm thinking to myself, what is it time for me to now switch over to a Mac? So see, you're constantly learning too in this business, right?
Yes.
Rachel said no.
I used a Mac for my graphic design course, and they're very similar, but they're very different. And things, I think you're one or the other, but that's a whole nother, that's a whole tangent.
Yeah.
So what is your favorite thing to do for clients?
I love wowing clients. I think they come in and they go like, yeah, you're just going to be another assistant. I'm going to give you tasks and you're going to do them. And then you get to show them like, well, no, actually we'll probably do way more than that. Like I will watch what you're doing. You'll tell me this is how I'm watching it. And then I am going to go build a system that is going to help us do that faster, easier, quicker, something so that we can move on to something else. My second favorite thing to do is to build systems. Like I think of myself as an operational virtual assistant. I come in, I kind of look at how you're doing things, and then I sit down and I go, we could build a system for that. We could build a system for that. I am introducing and playing around a little bit more with AI to see how that can help me help my clients. So I'm pretty excited about that. And spreadsheets, I'm your girl. Love me a good spreadsheet.
Now the question is data entry into those spreadsheets.
So
yay or nay?
So not always my favorite thing. So, but you pop in a movie and you sit and you kind of do it, then you get it done. Unless they're numbers. Numbers, I have to be completely present, put in the numbers, and then I won't try and put in a lot of them at one time because I got to be completely present. I also am like a little pet peeve of mine is I am not going to type something by hand that I can cut and paste just to make sure we don't have the mistake of it was 21 and you put 25 or 15 or whatever. Yeah, I don't want that mistake.
Yeah. I hear you.
Yeah.
Data entry is a no-go for me. I'm like, I got people. I know people, so.
Well, that used to be the case when my nieces were younger. So I have 3 nephews and I have like 14 nieces. Yes. All but one nephew. They all have worked in my business during the summer.
Nice.
Yeah. And so they all, like on their resumes, I like to see virtual details. I'm like, very good.
Yes.
Yeah.
I tried to bring my daughter in because she doesn't mind data entry. I'm like, well, if you do it, then I can take off that as a no. And she's like, I'll help when I help, Mom, not all the time.
Well, it was the summer. So they would work with me, especially that summer when they're like 13, 14, and they're ready for work, but no one quite wants to trust them.
Yes.
So they'd come. The youngest is 24 and she's in law school. Oh. And I love her because occasionally I can bribe her and say, can you come over? I will treat you to lunch. And then she'll come over and she'll help me, like straighten up my office or do a little something. Now she's in law school. She's like, I don't have time.
Right. But I will take the free lunch.
But I will take the free lunch. Yeah, exactly.
So that talks a little bit about what you like to do for clients. Who do you like to do those tasks for? Who's your ideal client?
So Rachael and I go back a long way. And, I think when I started my practice in 97, I started out with nonprofit organizations. So I would work with volunteer boards of nonprofit organizations, and I did that for a good long time. Today, I've kind of broadened my my scope. I now work with coaches. I still work with a few nonprofits, but my new favorite client are meeting planners. Who knew? I mean, I think what I like about the meeting planning industry is that you're somewhere new all the time, and then your hands get into a bunch of things. So in my corporate career, I worked at a hospital and I did staffing. So I didn't actually staff anyone, but that was my title, staffing. What I did was I counted like little stick figures. I counted all the CNAs, the, LPNs, all the RNs, making sure that they were all accounted for in their various departments. So that had me going to the department heads. So I'm usually working with whomever was the lead RN for that area. I would get the count, and if we were missing anyone, I'd call other agencies and say, hey, we need a nurse, we need a CNA, we need a whatever. Well, I'm finding that a lot of meeting planners schedule people, and they have this kind of need to have, like, we need 6 people at registration, we need 10 people doing session monitoring. So that has become one of my new favorite things to do, is scheduling. In that sense, scheduling people. So my ideal client is not as niche as it used to be. Now I really enjoy working with individuals, male, female, who are busy, and who, when they think about their plate, they're thinking about, I got a lot of stuff I can let go, because I love coming in now, especially into busy entrepreneurs' businesses, and saying, I got that, I got that, I got that. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I bet meeting planners are very grateful that someone else wants to do the logistics side of things.
Yes, yes, yes. Because, with that comes that piece about automating things. How can we make it easier, better? So, you got to send out what uniform to wear, or where are you going? All of that automated.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that behind the scenes stuff. I started as a stage manager, and, there's so many aspects of that. And meetings are very much a production, so it makes perfect sense.
Exactly, yeah.
Very cool. Well, aside from the 14 nieces and 3 nephews, what's one thing we should know about you beyond your business?
Okay, so this is something new. It's old but new that I'm sharing with the world. I am a jigsaw puzzler. So I know Rachel was ready to hear about my love for Mickey Mouse. That's still there. He's always going to be right here in my heart. But yeah, just recently, I think like in December, my husband and I came across a video of this couple talking about, like all the restaurants they went to in DC. And then they said, and now we're on our way to the Jigsaw Puzzle Conference at the convention center in DC. And I'm like, what is this? So I looked this thing up. There's an organization called USA Jigsaw Puzzle Association. And I had the pleasure of going to the conference in Atlanta, Georgia this past March to watch speed puzzlers.
I knew that was a thing.
Chapters all over the country. So wait a minute, all over the world, because the winners of the national, which is where I was, the national conference, are invited to the Jigsaw Puzzle World Conference in Barcelona.
Nice.
Right? I'm like, I need to get to jigsaw puzzling, like I need to build up some speed. They were putting 500-piece puzzles together, solo, 37 minutes. A team of 2, 25 minutes. And I didn't stay for the one that was done by the team of 4. They had to put together 2 1,000-piece puzzles, and they had 3 hours to get it done. So yes, so jigsaw puzzles. So it's not a new thing. I've always loved putting puzzles together, but now this aspect of it is new. And so if you want to know what I'm doing with my spare time, is trying to see how fast I could put together a 500-piece puzzle.
Love that so much. And see, I just took up diamond painting because I'm like, that's a solo sport.
Yeah.
There's no rush on that. Well, when you start competing, let us know, because that sounds fun to watch. All right. Well, let's kind of wrap things up with what's one way that our listeners or viewers can connect with you?
Yeah. So I have a website, and it's going to be so hard to remember, but it's AntonetteArtiz.com. I think that's the best way to get to know a little bit more about me, also to get to know a little bit about my process. And then there are testimonials on there. I didn't pay for one of them. They're all honest.
All honest. Good. Yeah, we will put the link in the show notes. That way, if you're listening and or driving, you don't have to pull over to write it down. You can just click on the button when you get a chance. Antonette, thank you so much for being with me today and for sharing all of this information about yourself. And hopefully this resonates with someone who's watching.
Thank you, Rachel.
Thanks for being here. And if you're watching or listening, thank you for being here. And we will see you next time. Thank you for joining me for this episode of VAs After Dark. If something you heard resonated, you'll find this VA's contact information in the show notes. Feel free to reach out and start the conversation. If you're still exploring what support could look like for you, head back to the Hey, Do I Need a VA podcast for more information. Remember, trust the fit, follow the feeling, and don't be afraid to ask for extra hands. We'll see you next time.